You can see everybody has umbrellas out. There's a typhoon coming to Tokyo, but that's not gonna stop us from doing a live stream. Hey everybody, you can see, oh look at this. Oh, hold on a second, the lens is getting wet. There we go. So here I'm in Yurakucho, it's central Tokyo, not that far from between Ginza and Tokyo Station. And I've got a guest today. We're gonna be talking about tips for traveling here in Japan. So grab some popcorn and maybe a cup of coffee if you're on the East Coast. I'm in front of big camera here, and there he is. We're gonna walk across the street and go meet with our moderator, Nosh Abroad. He's somebody that a lot of you who have been watching this show know. You've already been introduced to him. He's right in the center of the screen. Hey Nosh, how you doing? You in, yeah, you in the market for an air conditioner?
Well, not today, maybe next week.
So here we go. So you've been in Japan for how long now on this trip?
My third week.
The third week.
Yeah.
So Nosh is somebody who knows Japan pretty well. You don't live here, but you come here a lot, so you know about being a tourist, which makes you really valuable to the show. So I'm gonna buy you a beer because you always send in some super chats, and Peter said I'm cheap, so I'm taking to the highest class restaurant I can find, which is the beer vending machine corner. So let's go take a look over here and talk a little bit about traveling in Japan. For those of you who watched the video I just released yesterday, it was about traveling in Kyoto, Ginkakuji versus Kinkakuji, and which temple is the best one. Oh gosh, okay. Which one is the best one? And Nosh also chimed in and gave me some really good comments about it. And we're going to talk about traveling in Kyoto, traveling in Osaka, traveling here in Tokyo. And there's a lot of things because I'm a resident here. Nosh is a tourist. So we kind of have a way to mix it all up and give you some useful information from both sides. Let's go back to Kyoto for a second while we're waiting to cross the street here. The vending machine corner's right over there. So let's talk about that Kinkakuji versus Ginkakuji. You've been to a lot of temples and shrines in Kyoto.
Yes. Yeah, I went there in 2015. I spent about a week there looking at all the different temples and shrines and just trying to get a feeling of it all. The first thing I realized is I did not spend enough time there. I wish I had spent more. But I definitely learned what it means to be in a crowd. You think about Tokyo being crowded, but some of the areas in Kyoto can be extremely crowded, especially when you're going to some place like the Kinkakuji or the Kiyomizu-dera.
Yeah, I found that as well. Traveling to Kyoto with Kevin a couple of months ago when I filmed that episode, I was surprised how crowded Kyoto has become compared to 20 years ago when I first came. Of course, we didn't really have a lot of tourists coming. It was mostly domestic tourists going to Kyoto, and a few English teachers like I was at the time. But now with the tourist boom in Japan, most of the tourists are coming from Taiwan and China and Korea and other Asian countries.
Still definitely a lot of local tourists as well, though. As the
a lot of local tourists, absolutely. Let's cross the street over here. Yeah, and I was so surprised. I had to get there 30 minutes before Kinkakuji opened. I was the first one when they opened the gates to film that episode, and it gave me about 3 minutes of just peace and quiet with Kinkakuji, which is very rare.
I think people who've decided to go have already made their plans, and it doesn't really matter if it's going to be raining,
right.
If it's going to be a sauna. People are going to go no matter what because they got a limited time.
Absolutely.
You just landed and you want to make the most of it.
If you want to go and you want to see Kinkakuji and Ginkakuji, don't worry about what Kevin and I said. Just go and see it. Kinkakuji really is an icon of Japan, and there's lots of... Oh, we're here. This is the vending machine corner, and... all right, let's get a beer.
This is what I'm excited about.
Yeah. Have you been here before, Nosh?
I have not. I've been wanting to, though.
All right. All right. My treat. What do you want? Hey, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. What's your pleasure?
How's that mean kind or orange, whatever that is.
This one? Yeah. Oh, there's another one over there. Do you want to see?
Let's
see. There's one over here. Okay, let's get this one.
It's refreshing.
This one?
Yeah,
all right. All right, go ahead. You can. All right. And I'm gonna grab it. Oh, is it a screwdriver? I'm gonna grab an Asahi. Let's grab an Asahi here. All right. Beer vending machine, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, very good. Cool. All right, so let's set up here. All right, oh, we gotta open it up. Let's do a quick kampai to everybody. This is where Jennifer and I was for the sandwich episode. Kampai. Yeah. That tastes so good. It's been a long day. I was up until almost about 6 a.m. editing that Kyoto video. And whenever I release a video, it feels like this. So let's talk about traveling in Kyoto. Then we're gonna switch gears and look at Osaka and Tokyo. So stick with us. Kyoto is hard to get around. There's no subway. There is one subway, but it's not like Tokyo or Osaka. The subway system in Kyoto is very, can I say basic? Yeah.
Basic is a good word.
Basic is a good word. They have buses that get around, and compared to 20 years ago, the buses have gotten a lot better with English, so you know where the buses are going to go. And the tourist office in JR Kyoto Station is top notch. They give you maps, they give you all the information. You can buy day passes, everything right from JR Station in Kyoto. So you start the day perfectly if you start from there. But it's starting the day that's really hard. You have to know where to go and what shrine and temple and can you do a day trip to Kyoto?
Sure. I mean, anything's possible, but you're not going to really get the full experience. I've been there, like I said, for about a week and still did not get enough time to see everything.
Yeah.
Now, you can spend a day in certain areas and definitely get a lot in, but I don't think you're going to be able to see everything. And don't keep in mind, there are some places that you have to get reservations just to go to. If you want to go to the Imperial Palace, you need reservations. If you want to go to the Mos Temple, you need reservations. They don't even let you make a reservation online. You have to write in a handwritten postcard and wait for approval before you can even go.
Day trip is possible, but it's really hard. I think the minimum is 2 days. And I say this because when Kevin and I made this episode, we learned that there's an east side and a west side, all right? If you and we have a typhoon coming in, so it might just start downpouring real fast. So one person commented, Nosh is like an OIJ Go legend. So you got legend status, my friend. You kind of need the minimum 2 days because on the east side you have all of these temples and shrines, starting from Ginkakuji, which is the Silver Pavilion, going down to Kiyomizu-dera. You could do that in a really long and wonderful day, just walking the whole thing. Your feet are going to be sore. So the next day, start off in the morning at Kinkakuji, go to Roanji, which is the rock garden.
Yeah.
And then you can go to Arashiyama or vice versa. But if you really, really, really want to see Kinkakuji, you got to do it first thing in the morning, or else it's gonna feel like you're at Disneyland. Despite the history, and I made this episode because I wanted to give you an insight what it was like as a tourist to go there with some historical background, because Kinkakuji is significant, but in Japanese history, but it's really a tourist attraction. I felt more of the top 5 temples and shrines in Kyoto are more of a tourist attraction than they are actual temples and shrines to me. I can't relax at them. What do you think?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about what's a tourist attraction and what isn't, I mean, it's covered in gold leaf. And it wasn't always the case. I mean, if anything was Instagram worthy, it's that.
If you go to hashtag Kinkakuji, well, the reason why there's no hyphen when I put in the episode, because everyone uses hashtag Kinkakuji just straight like that. And you'll see just a million of the same picture from just slightly different angles, and everyone has taken the picture from the same place. That's what Kevin said. You could just get a postcard if you want to see Kinkakuji. It's like the same thing.
And it's true, because you're getting maneuvered. You got people right behind you.
Yeah.
You're trying to get your photo. You're trying to stay still.
It's hard.
There's really only like 1 or 2 places you can stand. I think there's like off to the left. There's a little area where the rope ends off.
Yeah.
And no one can be to your left. So that's about that one angle. and then there's another angle where there's kind of like a little outcrop underneath a kaki tree.
Right.
That this is where the other picture comes from.
Right.
And then it's really just a matter of what weather you got that day.
That's why I think, if you want to make a day out of it, go to Kinkakuji early, get in there, and just take your picture and get out.
Yeah, it's true.
I think it's kind of good because you could say, I've been there. You can kind of feel it a little bit, especially in the morning when you have that somewhat zen peace time with the nature. But 5 minutes later, the crowd rushes in and then it's over. It's just literally take the picture, get in a taxi, and just nothing. Well, the reason that Kevin really didn't like it was because not only was it crowded, but there was nothing there. There's no restaurants, there's no cafes, there's no shops, there's nothing in that area.
Because on Ginkaku Road, there are definitely, because you got
in Kinkaku.
Sorry, Kinkaku Road.
Okay.
Sorry. There are some shops. There's first of all, you got like a Buddhist rock garden that's, I don't think it's very stunning. There are some fantastic, I would say, Michelin star quality restaurants. I don't think they've actually gotten any, but they're really. I went to a soba shop that was out of this world, like some of the best soba I've had in Japan. And there's probably a good like 3 or 4 other temples you can see along the way. So you can definitely make a day out of it, still do something. Yeah. And that's also assuming you're not going back to downtown for some nightlife.
Right. So yeah, I think if you have one day, I think if you start in the morning at Kinkakuji and you're at Roanji, maybe you can get those 2 out of the way, and then by 10 a.m. cruise over to the east side, and then start at Kinkakuji and make your way down. And if you have time, then visit Kiyomizudera. But this leaves you with a problem. When do you see Fushimi Inari?
Right.
And this works out perfectly because my recommendation is to see it at night. I don't know why, the guidebooks say you got to go there between like 9 and it closes at 5 p.m. That's what the guidebooks say, at 5 p.m. And then I asked the Shinto, the priest who's in charge of, I interviewed him, and I said, he said, you can come here 24 hours a day. You could go there at 2 in the morning and bring beer and sit on the mountain and look over the city from Fushimi Inari. And this is what makes Fushimi Inari so darn cool. It's so relaxed in the sense that you don't need a ticket to go in. It's free. You can see everything at your own leisure, 24 hours a day. So you can do this first. You could do this at 6 a.m. or you could do this at 6 p.m. or 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. It doesn't matter. Just avoid the crowds. What was your take on Fushimi Inari?
I wish I had known that you could go.
You see, I made an episode on that. I made an episode on that. It was one of the ones that not a lot of people watched, though.
Oh, well, okay. That explains it. How was the thumbnail?
Maybe it could have been better. It was me walking underneath the 10,000 one. Kyoto. The episodes on Kyoto's temples don't do well on YouTube, and I don't know if temples and shrines are a religious thing and that gets stopped by the algorithm. I'm not really sure, but there aren't many Kyoto episodes that have like 1 million views. It's not something that a lot of, even though millions and millions of people go there because it's what is popular. I don't know why videos on Kyoto don't break free, but now that you know you can go at night, you probably would change
I would absolutely, yeah. And as I had mentioned, I had made it there for 5 days. I actually had a lung infection for most of it, and I know you got to walk a lot. You're going to be doing a lot of steps. I mean, if you got at least, I would say 20,000 a day while you're out there.
20,000?
20,000 steps?
20,000.
Yeah.
That's like a step a second, or no, a step a minute. No, it's a lot of minutes.
It's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps.
I mean, just in Tokyo, I probably do about 10 to 15.
Do you think, so Kyoto's not really accessible for people with disabilities?
I don't think Japan is. Honestly, it's really tough. I'll say that like my first trip back in 2015, you don't even see a lot of people with disabilities out in Tokyo, and especially in the downtown area.
Yeah.
This year, I'd say things have definitely changed a lot, especially with the upcoming Olympics. I see things are definitely becoming more accessible, more escalators, more elevators, more coaches, I guess you call them, for the stairwells to kind of escort you up. But that's Tokyo, that's not Kyoto, and that's a completely different story.
Thank you, Mr. Bricks. Mr. Bloody Bricks has been very generous over the last few ones. And Adyan, I will definitely go at midnight to Fushimi Inari. I highly recommend it, and I'm glad I made that episode because no one was really saying that it was a 24-hour open shrine. People, which is weird. At 5 p.m. at Fushimi Inari, it just dies. Like, it gets completely quiet. And I went there at 8 p.m. When I made the episode, and
Train just
there was
beat on me.
nobody. Yeah, we have water falling from the Yamanote line above us. At 8 p.m., there was nobody there except for cats. Lots and lots of cats. And it was really cute, but these cats live out in the forest, and they just come out.
You know, now that you mentioned it, I probably have a picture just of about 20 cats I saw just walking around Kyoto. Like, everywhere there was cats.
Cats are everywhere here. Oh, we got one here. Going to Japan soon. Is the skytree worth it? We'll switch back to Kyoto. I don't want to go all over the place. Let's move to Tokyo just for a little bit while people are watching. What do you think about like Tokyo's attractions? I'm going to tell you what my top ones are. I'm not going to rank them, but Skytree is not in my top 10. What do you think?
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say I actually have not been. I've thought about going, but the queue just to get in, not to mention the fee, I don't think it's necessarily worth it. Now, I've been to the Metropolitan Government Building like 3 times.
Yeah.
And you get fantastic views of the city, and it's free.
Right. It's free. That's the key word, right? And it's not that crowded.
I've never had to wait other than waiting for the elevator. And they've got restaurants up there. They've got all kinds of made in Japan memorabilia and things like that. So you can get your shopping done there. You get a lot of great views. You have a cup of coffee. It's great. Yeah,
the Shinjuku, the free observation deck is the best, like Shinjuku Metropolitan, right? That's where it's at. I also recommend the Bunkyo Ward near Tokyo Dome has I think it's almost 360 free observation deck. If you've ever seen the picture looking of Mount Fuji and the Shinjuku skyline, have you ever seen that one?
Yeah.
It's like everybody has that. That came from Bunkyo-ku, that came from that observation deck. It's free. It's right next to Tokyo Dome, and when you see it, you're like, yeah, how did I not know about this? I highly recommend going there. I'd say Skytree's too high. All right, Skytree is too high, and I did an Instagram stories, and I often go running along the Sumiragao, and whenever it's cloudy, the observation deck is completely covered in clouds. It's completely covered in clouds.
You just took a picture just a minute ago. It was completely hazed over.
It's completely hazed over. Hey, Mix. John got back to Hokkaido. We're gonna go to Hokkaido. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But if you want to see nature, Hokkaido can't be beat. Sunflower fields and flowers everywhere. We're talking about Furano and the center of Hokkaido, but everywhere, Mix. Yeah, you got that right. So let's put a ribbon on the Tokyo Skytree. Tokyo Skytree versus Tokyo Tower. You haven't been to Skytree, so it's hard to say.
I did go to the tower, and I also went to was it Osaka Tower or is it Kyoto Tower? What was that?
Probably Kyoto Tower in front of the station.
Yeah, it was probably, I think it was Kyoto. Yeah. I did both of those, and they're fun things to do, and not very expensive. You know, if you just have want to kill like a half hour.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You're going to get the same pictures. Of course, you're going to have reflections and smudges, and it's dirty. So you're not going to get the greatest photos up there, but just to kind of absorb it and get it all in. I remember the first time I was landing in Tokyo, and was landing at night, and they were coming in from the ocean, I guess. And I've been to New York. I've been all over America. I've seen big cities. But when you come in and you see that the city just does not stop, it's mind-blowing. The first time I saw that. And when you're up there in those towers, you can kind of get that experience again, especially if you go in the evening, which is, I think, is a great time to do it. During the day, I don't know, you might get a lot of haze. It might not be the same. But...
All right, let me give you some travel advice for visiting observation platforms in the city of Tokyo. In the summer, you won't see a lot because there's a lot of haze. It's just really humid.
Yeah.
And after about 9 a.m., 10 a.m., you can't see it. You won't see Mount Fuji. It's going to be completely hazy. The only time you get views of Mount Fuji is in the winter, and the cold air keeps the haze down. Amazing views between November and February or March. The second best time is after a typhoon. The day after a typhoon, the typhoon blows, like the day after tomorrow is going to be beautiful, or the day after tomorrow.
The day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's going to be
the typhoon blows out everything, and I've had the clearest views all the way to Mount Fuji and beyond. And I don't even know what's beyond, just there was something there. But the typhoon has cleared the entire atmosphere, and that's the next best time to go to the observation deck. So, with that said, do you want to spend $30 to go to the top of Skytree? No, not in the summer, unless you
not
just
to mention waited 2
and
hours,
you're wasting
3
2 hours of your time. Yeah. So I can't. Tokyo Tower is different. For me, there's a historical significance to Tokyo Tower. It was a place that gave people here in the city hope after World War II, when the whole city was completely flattened and they were reconstructing the city. Tokyo Tower was this big skyrise that was taking over the neighborhood there. And for me, I've been here for a while. I've talked with a lot of older people who have just a really deep affection for Tokyo Tower. And yeah, you can take the steps there, so you don't have to take the elevator. You can take the steps at Tokyo Tower, and it's a lot cheaper. Just ask for a steps ticket. It's usually open too. Maybe not in a typhoon, but
How many steps is that?
It's not that bad. They've done a couple of TV dramas on the steps, but it's not as bad as the skytree. Imagine the skytree. You can take the steps to the first observation deck, and then maybe you want to take the elevator to the second one. The first one's not that high, but observation decks in Tokyo are pretty neat. They give you a pretty unique view, but skytree is too high. If you really want the best view, get a helicopter tour. If you got the money. I'm telling you though.
What do those run?
They're about $1,500, I think. Yeah, I know. But like if you won the lottery and you get some cash to burn, helicopter
of steps,
tour.
if you're not used to climbing stairs anywhere in Tokyo, you're gonna get ready, because there's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps.
I would say on average I'm doing like 20 to 25 floors in a day. Now, I live in California, and even then I encounter like a flight of stairs a day, maybe less. In Texas, even less than that. No one.
It keeps you in shape. Yeah. People think that I'm staying in shape because the food is better. No, it's just we got a lot of steps.
And no benches.
And a lot of benches.
You're standing and you're walking everywhere.
So everybody who's joining us, Nosh and I are at the vending machine corner, and we're drinking a little bit to celebrate the end of the day.
You're not drinking enough.
I know I'm not drinking enough. Let's here. Cheers, everybody. This place might be put to pasture because of the smoking laws. They're very strict. You can see the sign here. You're not allowed to smoke, and
So on a side note of that, actually, I was reading. So the law has been essentially neutered.
Yeah.
If it's a multi-chain restaurant, then they have it has to be over a certain number, like 100 locations or something like that. But if it's less than a certain number of locations, then it doesn't seem to be impacted by it.
Smoking in Tokyo has really changed a lot over the last year. Starbucks was the first business that made everything smoke-free, and people liked it. Now, cafes and restaurants in Tokyo, when I first came, all over Japan actually, there would be a smoking section and a non-smoking section, and sometimes you'd have to walk through the smoking section to get to the non-smoking section, which made no sense. Yeah. But they prioritized smoking over non-smoking, and it could be because Japan Tobacco, or JT, is very powerful here.
Well, it's state-owned.
What?
State-owned.
Yeah. But now that the new mayor of Tokyo, who's really been a reformer, they've passed laws now before the 2020 Olympics where everything has to be like non-smoking with chain restaurants and stuff, and a lot of these restaurants are starting to get ahead of themselves and start to make it non-smoking right away, and I think that's a really great thing. I think it's a pretty good thing. So we got Poopy TV. Did I say that right? I'm sorry. Poopy TV writes in, traveling to Japan for the first time in September. Should I get an IC card? Oh, this is a good one. And go along with my JR Rail Pass? Sorry for the boring question. Look, when you have a name like that, there's nothing boring about that. Yeah, I think, what do you think? IC cards and the JR Rail Pass?
This is a tough one because this comes up all the time in your community tab.
Yeah.
Do you get the JR Pass? Do you get the IC card? You really have to calculate how much you're going to be traveling.
IC card. This is
to see if you can make that JR Pass worth it, because it is expensive. You're talking like a few $100 minimum.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, like you said before, if you're only making one trip, like let's say just want to go to Yamagata, well, you can get a 5-day pass. It's like less than the cost of any Shinkansen ticket. I think it's like $170 for the 5-day pass. That's 5 days to use over 2 weeks, unlimited for those whole days.
I'm gonna say, look, get both. They're different. They have different purposes. The JR Pass and the IC card have different purposes. The JR Pass is for the Shinkansen. The reason why you do it is for long hauls. Do not initiate that pass until you start making long trips with the Shinkansen. It'll pay for itself. Osaka has the Ikoka. The Ikoka. Tokyo has the Suica and Passmo. Hokkaido has the Kitaka. And wow, every single region has their own. Yeah, there's even a Kumamon card for Kumamoto Prefecture, but you can only use it in Kumamoto. Kagoshima has their own card. Fukuoka has their own card, but you can use those cards all over the country. You're not Nanoka is the one for.
If it's IC, it's IC. You can
Yeah,
use the
IC is IC.
Anywhere it says passport Sweden, you can
Anywhere.
use that
That's
card.
why I use the Osaka Ikoka here in Tokyo.
And even if you're just
That's
in
cool.
Tokyo, like
Yeah.
having an IC card in general is just useful.
Yeah.
You can not only do you use it for the trains, you can use it at restaurants, shops,
Vending machines.
You can use them for all kinds of different coin lockers.
Coin
Like,
lockers,
you're probably going to
yeah.
want to stash your stuff somewhere.
You
That's
can-
something you're not going to be able to do with the JR Pass.
Yeah, the rental bicycles as well. The new ones you can touch with your IC card, and you can buy the rideshare bicycles,
Yeah.
which is new. I'm gonna do an episode on that soon.
Now, if you go to the station, you try and get one. You got to put a 500 yen deposit down.
Yes.
Now, if you are at the if you go to the airport, Haneda or what is the other Haneda and
Narita.
Narita. If you come into either one of those, there's a JR station there. You can get an IC pass for no deposit, basically. So you don't have to put that 500 yen down.
Really?
Yeah, and that's just for a tourist.
At the airport?
At the airport. There's another place you can do it.
Am I tourist?
No.
What?
You gotta show your passport.
What?
That said, though, on the other hand, if you have an iPhone 8 or an iPhone 10, no Android users, sorry, it doesn't work for Android. But if you have an iPhone 8 or iPhone 10, you can load a Suica card into your wallet. And this is really, really advantageous for one main reason. If you have a bank account back at home and it's attached to your iPhone through Apple Pay, you can load it through your Apple Pay, and you get an exchange rate of about, right now, 111 yen to...
Oh, it's advantageous to do that.
111 yen to the dollar, no foreign transaction fees. So even if you're just buying stuff, you can use... I think you can load up to 200 bucks onto your Suica. It's like 200,000 or whatever. Or...
Nosh talks as fast as he types.
Oh yeah, you know.
No wonder he's a mod. I read all the
Someone
comments.
trying to like take notes.
And Japan Kofun is also a Patreon supporter. I know him very well. That was funny. I was laughing for like a couple of minutes because that came in a while ago.
He's still talking.
he's still typing. Yeah. Rideshare bikes, cool. I'm gonna do an episode on the Bella. I'm still, the system is run by Docomo, which is NTT, which is like the Verizon of Japan, and they're doing the rideshare thing. I'm still not quite sure how you register and get this. There's like so many different routes into the rideshare, and I'm still wrapping my head around it, which is a problem. It's hard for you to just get a bicycle and go. But I'm gonna unravel this mystery of the rideshare bike and do an episode next week or this weekend for you about how to rent a rideshare bike. We got a couple of questions here. Advantageous. Any tips of anyone who wants to try street go-karting around Tokyo? You were gonna treat me to go-karting, but
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to go off the rails here, but I know that there's definitely a lot of animosity towards, especially from the locals and for the go-karts. Now, what are the reasons for that?
a little bit, not a lot, a little
Is it
bit.
because there's been accidents? Well, is it any higher accidents than anywhere else? Is it because they're Korean-owned? Like, who knows? There's like a whole bunch of different reasons.
Is
could
it?
be. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
But I'll say I went in the evening one night for the 2-hour ride.
Yeah.
And boy, what a way is it to see Tokyo.
Was it fun?
It is fun. It's amazing. I know. I'm sure it kind of goes across the board. I had a great tour guide.
Okay.
And he led us. The whole thing was very orderly. Halfway through, we actually were at a rest stop, and everyone got inspected by a cop while we were there. They checked all the cars. They made
Like
sure.
patted down?
Not patted down. They just made sure that everything was in order and that everyone had their right paperwork with them. And then we got back in our cars and we went on our way. But it was in the middle. Where is it? The island that's next to you with the
Odaiba?
Odaiba. Yeah, we were over there, the other side of Rainbow Bridge. But it wasn't like a threatening thing or anything like that. They were just making sure everything was in order. We got back in and we went on our way and we went back across the bridge.
Right.
But with the Tokyo City, the nightlife.
2 hours it was.
A 2-hour ride, and it was really cold that night. My knuckles were like frozen. Not to mention the fact you're on a bridge going about 50 with nothing between you and the road. But
We're talking about the Mario Karts. Did you dress up in a costume?
yeah, so don't get anything with a tail
Why?
because you're sitting on it for 2 hours.
Ah.
That's my biggest tip. No costume with a tail. So I went as Koopa.
Oh, do you have to wear the costume?
No, you don't have to.
I'm not gonna wear the costume. Listen, you know.
Too cool for the costume, guys.
Yes, I'm one of those grumpy drivers. Get out of my way. No, I don't know. What other besides Mario? Did they have any other costumes or?
Oh yeah, they got superhero stuff. They got there's all kinds of things, and I'm sure you could probably bring your own. I brought my own camera.
Ah, now we're talking.
I actually bolted my camera to the cart itself. They didn't seem to mind that at all. They do rent cameras and memory cards, and the tour guide does actually take a lot of photos of you though during the time, and at the end they transfer them all to you. That didn't cost anything additional.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good experience.
So you highly recommend that?
I highly recommend.
Is that in your top 5 of things to do in Tokyo?
It really is.
Are you serious?
I had a blast.
Wow.
I really did.
So what are some of the now that we're 30 minutes into the live stream? What are the top things to do in Tokyo?
Man, well,
I'm sorry to put you on the spot here. I can give you mine.
So first of all, it's the restaurants, and yeah, no, it's not just sushi. There's all kinds of other things you can eat. The experience of being in Tokyo, just the people. I find it interesting. I know there are some other YouTubers who don't like being harassed in English while they're in Japan. Personally, I kind of like the experience, but if you go to a hub or a Dubliners or one of those places, because you have a lot of locals and you have a lot of expats in there and people who just kind of want to talk.
Yeah.
And in a lot of other times, like besides this, like right now, it's probably been a week since I was hanging out with a friend of mine that actually had a chance to talk to anyone, because it doesn't really come up that often, so it can be a little bit of a lonely experience too.
Tokyo is one of the most crowded cities in the world, but it's also a place where you can feel alone and isolated just because nobody really talks to anybody. Yeah. And that respect for people's privacy is really cool, but sometimes it's nice to, break the monotony of the way. Like in the morning, if you sit on the train in the morning, it's the most depressing thing for me because everybody has a face like this.
No, everyone has a face like this.
Yeah, like this, or they look like me last night when I finished editing that video. But you get off of the train, it's like a herd of cattle going to work. Everyone looks the same, white shirt, black pants. And it's just kind of depressing, and I'm the only one with an orange T-shirt or a black T-shirt.
Actually,
just
like of that, I have a confession to make. This is
sure.
actually the first time since I've been here that I've worn pants.
Yeah, it's actually surprisingly cool. I will wear shorts until
but I now realize why
October.
You wear this
it's my right
all the time.
I'm like Beavis and Butthead. I don't care. I got 20 black T-shirts now.
It's the only thing that doesn't show sweat.
Yeah, except for the salt patterns.
And then the khaki shorts, because everything was just drenched constantly.
Yeah.
It's been.
Yeah. All right. So I'm done with this here. Let's see here. Yeah. You know what? Look, here's another thing. Okay. How do you dress when you come to Japan? I get this question a lot. Look. Not a lot of people wear shorts in Japan. Everybody wears pants in the city, and I don't see people wear shorts very often. And if they do, they're usually like unemployed people. Like the people, like employed people wear pants and look nice. And I'm not in that ranks. I'm self-employed, but. Look, I think it's so hot in the summer in Tokyo, you have to wear shorts and T-shirts and just to survive. It's too hot. I don't know, how did you pack? How do you pack when you come to Japan?
So I actually, as I packed, I had 2 suitcases that I was checking in that were full of nothing but gifts. so that was...
And thank you very much for the Pop-Tarts. I appreciate the Pop-Tarts. Only half of them now remain. I've been snacking on them like constantly. I like the latte one, the coffee,
the Dunkin'.
The Dunkin',
yeah. Dunkin',
that was nice. We don't got Pop-Tarts here. We don't got Pop-Tarts here.
So one of the big reasons why I prefer having an Airbnb over a hotel is having a laundry in my unit. And that means that I don't have to pack as much clothing for a long trip. If you guys are only here for 5 days, well, you can probably pack 5 days worth of clothes. But if you're going to be here for 2, 3, a month, you're going to need to do laundry. Now, there are coin laundries.
Yeah.
But you got to lug your stuff across town to find one, and it's...
I don't think so. A lot of the hotels that I stayed at, like, one of the reasons why I kind of, despite the controversies like the Appa Hotel, is because they always have a coin laundry. It's on the 7th floor. And like even the Tokyo-in has, these are business hotels, they always have a coin laundry. And one day out of the week, when I was hitchhiking, I would always use the coin laundry in the hotel. And before I went to bed, I would get it out and I'd had clean clothes for the next week. So yeah, coin laundries are just about everywhere. I guess if you Google map it, you can find something nearby, but a lot of...
Because I had a hard time finding one in Osaka. I was trying to find one in that, because the place I was in had a washer, but it didn't have a dryer.
Yeah.
And that made things a little more complicated.
Yeah.
I'm not a line dryer.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find. Sometimes I just like sink wash stuff too. Sometimes I just sink wash it, and yeah, you know, in the summertime you don't have to pack that much.
Although, pro tip, sometimes the bathroom, the shower, is also a dryer.
Aha! Yeah, that's true. We got Matthew Jackson. Hi from UK. Love your videos. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate it very much. I'm looking at all these. Is drinking beer while walking fine in Japan? I don't have any problem with it. I'm not going to report you to the police. People will stare at you and disapproval maybe, but you know what? Look, just do it. You know, do it. Don't disturb people, but
I think there are some parks that don't allow drinking.
Yeah, Shinjuku Gyoen and some national parks that require entry fees, but most parks are okay with it. It's a good question. Steven Gonzalez, top 3 family-friendly things to do in Tokyo. Great question. Family-friendly thing.
Moving on.
And Mike H gave us €5 for the next rounds. Do you want something else to drink?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Here is 250 yen. Is that enough?
That's good. You hold now?
I only have 10,000. Then after that, I have 10,000 yen. I was like, hold on a second.
I got a bill.
Hold on. Wait, I might have it. I tell Peter, I only carry hundreds.
Ichimans.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Well, let's go in and see. Before we go and get something, I want to answer this question before we forget. Top 3 family-friendly things to do in Tokyo. Mario Kart is not family-friendly. You need a driver's license, an international driver's license.
Yes, not that hard to get though.
And they give you a training course, like a really quick.
There's a brief training course.
Overview.
And, you know, the thing is, it is a tour. You do have a guide. I think you have the option of going without a guide.
Woo-hoo!
Chat, we made it. We made it.
Hello.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's not Cosmo.
A quick shout out to my girlfriend. Hola, Hood. Hi.
Where's your girlfriend?
What? Sorry?
Where is your girlfriend?
In Portugal. I'm from
Oh,
Portugal.
okay. Hey.
We made it, chat. We made it. Do you read the chat?
Yes, sometimes. He does. That's Nosh.
Who's this?
Hey, man.
Sorry, hey, man.
You can call me Marty. Mindless Marty.
Is that what your screen name is?
Yep.
Mango Smarty.
We made it.
How's your trip going?
Fine. I arrived in September.
All right.
So it's my first time in Japan, but I've been watching you since only in Japan was the only channel.
Since you were this high.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been doing it that long.
Not really, but there wasn't any only in Japan Go, so
All right.
so I started watching the streams, and I was in Japan. I couldn't be at the meetup because I worked until late.
All right, very good. Let's get another drink then. Let's recharge. I'm gonna work on this family-friendly thing. Welcome. Is your girlfriend? Is your girlfriend watching?
I think so. I hope so. I just left my place where I'm staying, and
All
I
right.
told her.
Nosh, you going for sake? I might be able to afford
Can I buy
sake.
something?
Well, Mike did actually, but that's okay if you want to. That would help.
Super chat.
All right. All right. This is coming from Mango Mark. Thank you.
Mindless Marty.
Mango's Martin. Okay.
Mindless Marty. Man.
Mindless.
Mindless Marty. Because my last name is Martin.
Mindless Marty.
Yeah, the chat
Marty,
knows.
my man. You
What
did it.
up,
You made it.
chat, we
Nathaniel
made
Wong. Mindless Marty, thank you. This is a super chat from Mindless Marty. This is a direct one. And Mike, we're gonna put yours as put yours to use. All right, we're going for old school sake. Wow, this is so old. This machine looks like it was like in the 1950s. Whoa, this is retro. What is that? Like gasoline on the floor? Oh, it's like lukewarm. All right.
I was with Cosmo last night, so I was just joking.
There's always a guy
So
who
wait,
puts in.
this is the chat room goaded him to come here.
Oh, really?
It's their fault.
The chat room did it? Oh man, that's so cool.
I was having dinner. Only in Japan Go was live.
Hey guys, I think.
Yurakucho,
Hold on a
PlayStations,
second.
let's go.
Yeah. Oh, it's still reversed. Yeah. I was hoping that Google would fix it. Everything's always reversed in the live streams.
Why would Google do something to fix something on the iPhone?
I don't know. They would never do that. All right, quickly, get something. Oh, you got it? Oh, yeah, can't chew high. Oh, Nosh is going deep. He's going for the hardcore alcohol.
There's your
Somebody.
copper pieces.
Oh, okay. Very cool. What do you guys want out there watching this live stream? Is there anything you want? Mindless Marty. Thank you, Mindless Marty. Dude, that's nasty. I told you, like, sometimes people in Japan don't clean up. But there's no trash. Well, there is a trash can.
Trash can right there.
There's a trash can right there, but
Is it good for cigarettes?
it's a lot better. It looks like a frat house here. All right, I'm going for the sake. Here, can you hold this camera? I'm gonna open up the sake. Yeah, my contribution. All right. Kanpai, everybody.
Let's wait for Marty.
Oh, that's right. We gotta wait for Mindless Marty.
First time in Japan. Did they take notes, these machines?
I think so. There's a little slot,
Slot down here on this one.
but the beer one might not.
It might not. Yeah.
Here, I got some change for you.
It's because of
Is there a change machine?
Oh, no, it's okay. Here,
too small, man.
here, take what you need.
I just gave you 500 yen.
It's all right. What goes around comes around. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Oh, wait, here,
We'll
you
make
can
the
put it.
math.
Oh, you can put it here.
Dummy.
Don't worry about it. I want. Leo says he wants a coffee. Leo. But it's 7. It's 9 p.m. somewhere in the world. Here. We're gonna continue talking about some of the questions. We got some really great super chats. I'm gonna put this up.
It's your money back.
Oh no, it's all right.
Yep,
It's all right.
yep.
What goes around comes around. All right, kanpai, everybody.
No, welcome to Japan.
Kanpai.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Japan.
Chat, this is for you.
Kanpai to you. Woo. This is definitely on the lower end of the
That's
sake,
the high-end
but
stuff, I thought, right?
it's not high end. This is low
That's
end,
the stuff
but
they pour the Odin into, right?
yeah, probably.
it
But
fruity?
it's cheapy, not so fruity.
Not a good flavor.
It's not bad, but it's not, I'm not gonna write home and go, hey mom, I just had some sake. No, I'm not.
Do you recommend that as a souvenir? For people
No,
who don't know?
I recommend that if you just want to get plastered, but I had a long night. So, 3 family-friendly things to do. Sorry about this is taking forever. Thor 2748 leaves a secret code. He just writes 20. Like a 20. You have to be 20 years old to drink alcohol. Is that what you mean? 3 family-friendly things to do in Tokyo. Jeez. There's a lot of really family-friendly museums.
Ghibli.
Ghibli.
But here's the thing about Ghibli.
Yeah.
Good luck getting tickets. When I came,
You have to
first
get it a
time-
month in advance, right?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
If
And
you're lucky.
And they also close a few weeks out of the year. They close for maintenance.
Right.
Nice.
Geopet gonna. Yeah. There was somebody who was it? Maybe it was my Roger who contacts me on Facebook. I stopped. By the way, I don't do Facebook Messenger anymore. So if you wrote me a message, I might not respond like ever. But Roger sometimes wrote me in there from Norway, and was it Roger? He asked me to get it in advance to go to Lawson's and get him. It might not be Roger. Sorry, Roger, if it wasn't you. To go to Lawson's, and you can only get the tickets at Lawson's.
Yep.
And you can have to get it like before they're sold out.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me to go and do that. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be a ticket broker, but I'm actually tried to go and do it, but they were sold out. I forget what happened just a couple of months ago, but the tickets sell out fast.
There's a I forget which website it is, but there's a place that sells like a tour package along with it.
This is the Ghibli Museum in Mitaka.
They put quite a premium on those tickets for the tour package.
I wanted to go, now I'm sad. Sabishi.
Yeah.
Since September. So,
Yeah.
Forever?
no, since until December.
Until December.
Okay.
Okay, great.
So maybe I can do it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's November, I think, that they actually close for maintenance. So.
Do they sell like secondhand tickets or bootleg tickets? Is there a way to get in if you really can you buy your way in?
No.
No.
I've never
No.
seen one of those.
You can buy the film cell that you get when you go in. On
Okay.
eBay. Like,
Interesting.
but that's about it. So yeah, every time you buy a ticket, when you get there, you actually trade it in for a little strip of celluloid film
Okay.
that you get to keep. Some people get things that are interesting. I got someone's foot.
I've been there once a long. You guys have. I've been there once a long time ago. Deborah, hey Deborah. By the way, I got your gachapon still. A few of us wondering, did Nosh get his pillow? I wrote you that I'm not going to bring it due to the typhoon and the lady.
We don't want a soggy lap.
Nosh will get his pillow. Nosh will get his pillow. My wife also thanks you for taking that, and she said, "Do you want the male hugging pillow too?" Because they're both sitting in the closet, and she's been telling me, "Hurry up and give that to
I would have
Nosh."
thought for sure someone would have wanted the arm pillow.
I don't know. I'm
People
happy
are
to.
disappointing me.
I after I got married, I no longer need the hugging pillow. It's been used once, slightly.
Slightly.
The lap pillow maybe more than
It was,
once, but it's clean. I
live
promise
streamed
you.
one time.
I use soap and water sometimes. So, three family-friendly things: the Ghibli Museum, get tickets in advance. Anything else? I love Odaiba because there's a lot of family-friendly things to do in Odaiba.
Yeah.
There's Legoland, there's Sega Joyopolis, there's the decks, there's the beach. There's Space Boat. I really highly recommend riding the boat from Asakusa or Asakusa from Asakusa to Odaiba down the Sumida River. That's about 700 yen or
Sunshine City. has
Sunshine City.
like an aquarium thing there,
So it's the Tokyo Skytree.
but you can actually touch otters at the
Wow.
Sunshine City. It's only like there's a lottery for it though. It's not guaranteed.
And
But yeah, if you want to play with an otter, you get like a chance. It'll be the only chance probably.
I always wanted to play with an otter. Marty, your tips.
Tokyo Disneyland.
Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah.
This is one of the most visited places in the world.
However, if you live in California, it's exactly the same.
Oh, really?
Except but it's like has like a slight Japanese theme. I like the
They sing in Japanese. And, yeah.
the one thing that freaked me out about Tokyo Disneyland was that if you ever get the curry rice with the egg when you cut it in half has
a Mickey. Yeah.
the Mickey Mouse pattern in the egg. It was really weird. It was like, how do they do that? And they just regurgitate the egg, is that the word? And put it into little Mickey ears into the... I don't know how they do it, but
There is
it was pretty cool.
Though, is
It's pretty cool.
pretty unique.
Yeah. Thor274F5 writes in, get a snack, enjoy a snack on me, guys. You know what? Actually, there used to be a window. Do you see this right here between the vending machines? And the owner would pop his head out and bring snacks, but he's not around there.
I kept thinking, hey, I gotta work this.
I'm gonna try to find a convenience store,
Let's do it.
and we can get.
I too had to like race across town. I was all the way in Yotsuya.
Does somebody want to go get some snacks?
Snacks? What do we got? I don't know if there's any snacks in the area.
There's a Lawson's inside there. Yeah. I can give you some cash.
I got some cash. What do you guys want?
No. I can. It's a super chat thing. Just bring the chain. I told.
Never coming back.
I'm giving him $100. I'm giving him $100 for Thor. Thor gave me 20 Australian, so I'm giving you 100. Go get some snacks, but by the way, my wife is cooking, so I can't eat that
What do
much.
you want? Oh, I already had dinner.
I had dinner.
You already had
Just
dinner.
had dinner, so-
So surprise us, but bring back some change.
I'm gonna find a pudding sandwich.
I'll go with
Oh,
you.
pudding sandwich! That's the elusive
that
pudding
7-Eleven
sandwich.
or is that Family
That's
Mart?
at Family Mart. There's a 7-Eleven over there. I don't want you to go too far away because we still got questions for you. There's a Lawson's there. We'll see what you can find in the Lawson's. Maybe they'll have something with mochi or pudding. Just surprise us.
I'll do it so you can be.
All right. Wait, it's just me now. I don't have anything to say. Why did Mindless Marty went too? What am I supposed to do now? Stalk them? I thought one of them would stay. Over there is Big Camera and Peter, help! There's nobody here. I want to go to the family-friendly things. How about Hokkaido? Any tips to visit over a day? Adeline, great. So let's go back to the questions. Nothing to say. All right, Hokkaido. First tip is don't take the train to Hokkaido. There's cheap flights. Take a Jetstar or Skymark to Chitose Airport, and from there start the JR Rail Pass, or you can get cheap tickets at just about everywhere. Take the bus in Hokkaido. Hokkaido is hard. You can't do that in a day trip. I think you need a minimum 3 days. Hokkaido is like the United States. It's very spread out. You need time to get from one place to the other. Depending on the season, Furano is beautiful. Furano is great in June, May, June, and July. And in the summer, what I like about Hokkaido is that it's so much cooler. So Tokyo's heat is like oppressive. It just drains you. But Hokkaido doesn't have that humidity. So a lot of people take their vacations up in Hokkaido. And they've got so many things. In fact, the cherry blossoms are blooming. They bloom in June in the north of Hokkaido, which is crazy. So if you've missed the cherry blossoms in April, if you go up to Hokkaido, you can catch them in May and June, which is like insane. They start in February in Okinawa and they work their way up the country and they finish up in June. So they're done now, but so many things to do. If you're in Sapporo, you can, I like the TV tower and then the Sapporo brewery tour, but there's lots of confections, cookies, candies, and things like this. You can get that at all in Sapporo. My favorite city though in Hokkaido is Hakodate. Awesome city. Sapporo is nice, but Hakodate has got a lot of the best food. It's got amazing food. It's small, very compact. It's got a lot of attractions in one area, and the restaurants are top notch. To get from Hakodate to Sapporo, they have Super Express trains that are very comfortable. It's a little bit pricey though. There's no Shinkansen in Hokkaido, but just give it a little bit of time. Hokkaido is definitely a place, like, if you're a repeater to Japan, this is your second or third time, definitely just go into Tokyo, spend a day or two, and then fly to Hokkaido, and then spend 2 weeks in Hokkaido, going all around. You can go to Abashiri, which is where the prison is. You can go to Wakanai, which is really weird because there's a lot of Russian up there. Like all the signs are in acrylic, which is like, what? It's pretty cool culture. There's Sapporo, there's Furano, there's Asahikawa, and the amazing zoo that's there. They do the zoo right, Asahiyama Zoo. The ramen in Hokkaido is fantastic because it's a cold weather country. People eat ramen to stay warm. Skiing is great in Hokkaido. Hiking is great in Hokkaido. It's like Alaska in many ways. Once you get out of the west coast and you go towards the east of Hokkaido, it's like Alaska. So much wilderness. Yubari City is famous for the Yubari melon. That's right. But Yubari is a city that went bankrupt a few years ago. They don't have a lot of money. They don't have a lot of anything. So I feel bad for them. I wanted to go to the melon auction this year, but they have no tourist office anymore. And I usually work with people in the local areas. There's nobody to work with because they don't have money to have an office, which is crazy. But Yubari is famous for that. They're not back yet. What is it they don't come back? They're shopping. They'll be here. Family-friendly stuff. So I've mentioned Odaiba, the space boat, which is really cool. My cousins, my nieces came here and they loved Tokyo Disneyland. In fact, if you want, you can spend a couple of days staying in Tokyo Disneyland. That's probably the best hotel to stay at. My nieces did not, and my nieces were like first grade and third grade, I think. They did not like staying in the center of Tokyo, but they loved staying at Tokyo Disneyland because the rooms are bigger. There's lots of things to do inside of the hotels there. And then Disneyland's across the street, which is just cool. There's also a community pool. There's lots of stuff to do, and I think kids love that area. And then you can commute into Tokyo, which takes you a little bit of time, maybe like 30 minutes, but it's better that way than spending your time in Tokyo. And kids don't really like the crowds, but they love Disney. The other thing that you can do is Skytree is family friendly. There's an aquarium at the Skytree, which is reasonably priced. They have an amazing penguin show. They march the penguins around, and the kids love that. So Skytree is pretty cool. And I noticed that, like, from America, kids don't really like Japanese food if they're not used to it. So they eat a lot of McDonald's and convenience store food. And this area, the parks are really nice in Japan. Anderson Park was ranked higher than Tokyo Disneyland because it was free, it's cheap, there's no lines. The downside with Disney is that there's so many long lines that kids don't like to wait in it. And you buddy, lives matter. Nathaniel, that's pretty funny. It's true. Except when Meron Kuma bites your head off, which he did in an episode. He bit my head. Well, I still have my head, but he bit my head for like 30 seconds, and I'm somewhat shaken and stirred. But yeah, Anderson Park in Funabashi in Chiba is amazing for kids. There's no lines. The thing with Tokyo Disneyland is there's lines, and kids often get kind of upset having to wait for the lines. Other than that, Shinjuku, Shibuya, they kind of like it, but it gets old real fast. So, playgrounds, try to find local... I know you guys! Welcome back!
I tried to run, but he wouldn't let me.
Oh, wow. Look, you got a lot. All right.
I wasn't sure what the people would want to see.
Okay, all right, lay it out there.
So that's some meat.
All right. This has turned into an unboxing now.
Right.
All right, some kind of salami.
And mini eggs.
Whoa, quail eggs, what? Sure, a little bit. Quail eggs?
And hamburger chips.
What?
I don't know what that is.
Lotteria. Lotteria is a fast food chain, and the fast food chain has hamburger chips? I've never seen this before in my life. So this has turned into a midnight snack run. All right. Let me put this down here.
Ooh, that's sketchy.
This is a sketchy area.
Got that skewed angle. It's like a rap video.
All right. So in the West, we open the potato chips like this. Do you know how we do it in Japan?
I've watched enough streams to know.
Instead of opening this way, we open it from the center in the back here, like this. You see, not in here. Do you know why? Because it's easier to put your hand in there and open it, you see? That makes sense. You didn't know that? At every Japanese party I went to, they'll open it like this. There you go. Well, it's one way. Hamburger potato chips.
That's weird.
That's weird. I need some sake to wash that down.
It's buttery, right?
Yeah, it's
buttery. Yeah, buttery. Buttery. That's a good way to put it.
It doesn't taste much like burger.
Quail eggs. All right. Marty can open these. This turned into a midnight snack run. What you got there?
Can you see it?
Yeah. Thank you for the egg, sir. What? This looks like a wet M&M. Who is Marty? We got some. That's Marty.
A viewer just crossed by.
Marty is. You might see him in the chats every now and then as Mindless Marty. He's here. Nosh, he's the one who probably banned you or timed you out.
Thanks. That's what I remembered for.
Yeah, he types faster. He speaks faster than he types, or he types faster than he speaks. All right, quail
I also
egg.
wanted to comment. These are warm. They were not in the refrigerator.
What? Were they in your pocket?
No.
All right.
They were just,
Okay, here we go.
Stable eggs.
Are those nice?
Actually, it's okay.
It's okay? You think it's safe?
It's just funny that they put like a dozen of them in a bag and then said, "Let's make this a snack."
It's supposed to be a bar snack, like drinking snack. So? No. Yeah, I give it like a 7.
A 7 out of 20?
7 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10. Okay.
That's right.
All right. One more to go. Nosh,
Just meat. I figured meat's safe. Safe meat.
do it. Let's open it up and unbox this mama. Oh, very fancy opening it. Yeah, that's meat. So Thor2745, thank you very much for this, and Deborah, thank you. Deborah writes in, you can always send the hugging pillow along with the peeing pig. Oh no! So the other day I went to Gachapon. Have you guys been to Gachapon Kaikan in Akihabara? It's pretty cool. And yesterday I was at Asakusa at the Don Quixote, and I found animals standing in front of urinal.
Oh, wait, that's what I bought. I'm serious. I got like 5 of them.
Which one?
I got the gorilla, the polar bear.
Oh, you got the polar bear?
I got the polar bear. I got 2 gorillas.
Deborah, I'm sorry. I only got you a pig. We're gonna have to work on that.
That's what I'm missing is the pig.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Deborah, you want to trade? Do you have any doubles? Do you have any doubles? No. A gorilla? Deborah, do you want a gorilla for the pig? Deborah,
The gorilla is probably
yeah,
the biggest
Deborah,
one.
let me know if you want the gorilla, Deborah. Maybe we can get you a gorilla instead of the pig. Nosh has the pig. Nosh doesn't have the pig. All right, let's go back to traveling in Japan. Marty, what have you seen? What are some things that have been left an impression on you?
This weekend I was at Asahi Sky Room in Asakusa as well. And it was super nice because I got to see the fireworks.
Okay.
So I got a cold beer, like 2 degrees Celsius negative beer, super cold. 5 fireworks at the same time, having dinner, having a beer, super nice. And you don't actually pay anything to enter. You just pay the regular.
For the beer?
Yep, 700 yen.
Was it crowded?
Actually, no. This Saturday it was not.
That's weird because
it was almost 7 o'clock.
I
so maybe
see.
that's why.
Yeah.
And
Outside of Tokyo, what's interesting?
I want to go to Kyoto, but I've only went to Chiba so far. So
Like Chiba's in Narita.
If you go to Kyoto, how many days
I don't
would you
know.
spend
Makuhari.
Makohari, okay.
Is it in Chiba?
Yeah,
It's,
that's
it's
Chiba.
considered Chiba,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And it was a cool place near the river, sea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to see the Marine Stadium and some shopping malls and
Costco.
yeah, it was good.
Now, Deborah wants the gorilla.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
We'll
Deborah,
figure this out.
I'm trading your pig for the gorilla. Okay, is the gorilla's pretty cool?
It's the biggest one. Like there's like the gorilla, then the polar bear, then the pig, and then there's the
mouse.
The little mouse, which is like it's tiny. Like it's like this big.
Okay, all right, Deborah, you're getting a gorilla instead of a pig. I don't know. Okay, Marty, this is your first time. What was your first impression of Japan? Tell me a little bit about when you arrived. What was it like?
It was super different because in Portugal it's hot, but it's not so hot because there's lots of wind since we're near the ocean, so it was super hot. I got all sweaty to the hotel, which was not
Like
good.
as soon as you got off the airplane, that blast of air hits you.
Yep.
Yeah, you ever get off the airplane? It's like, oh, it's hot.
You arrive and you think, finally Tokyo, this is gonna be super awesome, and then bam!
Yeah, the humidity has been demotivating.
Was that your flight too? You got that blast of hot air?
You know, I was expecting hot. I was not expecting the sun exploded.
Yeah, that's what.
It's.
Listen, nobody believes me, and people from Saudi Arabia chime in and go, "We've got very hot," and I know you got hot desert weather, but it's hot. All right, if you say hot, we got hot. If you're in Phoenix, Arizona, you go, "We're hot here." I say, no. In Phoenix, you're hot. We're hot. Yeah, this is hot. This is dry heat. And my friends from What's Inside, Dan and Lincoln, when they came here, they live in Utah, which is really hot, and they're like, this is too hot. We had to go every couple of minutes. We had to go somewhere so they could cool off, and they're used to 100+ Fahrenheit weather. Lightweights.
Yeah, totally not a Dr. Who thing, but bring your towel.
Bring a towel. Everyone in Japan carries a little hand towel to wipe the sweat off. And I usually lose about 2 or 3 kilograms. Just I sweat it out, and I try to preserve this through the winter. By February, I got the beer gut back, so you can't.
I used to be one of those guys who was like, "Who's this John Dog always sweating?" But now,
you understand, right?
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
Believe me, it's super hot.
You can't wear cotton.
Yep.
Like,
Can't wear cotton.
It's drenched.
Uniqlo makes some very nice fibers. They're these synthetic fibers where the sweat goes through, and then somehow it just vanishes through evaporation.
That's another thing. I'm one of those guys who always wears black, and I was not prepared for this, so I'm always envy of the clothes like baggy pants and super fresh sneakers. I'm super envy of people passing by. So it's super hot.
Anything but black, you have this thing going on here where it's just.
Yeah. And I have the ring. I've had sweat rings. You can see. And the funny thing is, as the day goes on, I have more rings. The rings get smaller. So as the evaporation happens, it's kind of gross. But with Uniqlo, just about everywhere, and these T-shirts are like $5. You can just throw them away because you've used them 100 times, and then buy a new one. And that works out if you're on a location shoot or something. Any other questions that we have here? I'm happy to take ADS, Mark Joseph Del Rocio, ADS. There's no moderator, Nosh, so
It's chaos.
It's chaos out there. This
Cats
is what
hugging dogs.
cats. Yeah, this is why we appreciate Nosh Abroad. Humidity is a killer. Andrea writes in here. Yeah, the humidity is very, very high because this is an island. We have island humidity, plus a little bit of the continentality, like all that heat from Siberia and China makes its way across here. So you got that heat plus the island heat, and it just kicks back into the city of Tokyo. It's really, really hard. Florencia is loving the stream. Thank you, Florencia. We brought 2 pair worth of antiperspirant. All right. People in Japan don't wear deodorant. They don't wear deodorant here in Japan, but they don't stink.
It's true.
But nobody stinks really that bad. Like when I went to Athens, Greece, it really stunk. Nothing against Athens.
And what that means
New
is
York
bring
stinks too.
Deodorant. If you have deodorant,
Bring deodorant.
that's extra strength, bring it. You're not going to find it here.
You don't. And what do people use? They use soap, and they just don't. I don't know. People don't stink here, except when they smoke, and it's a different kind of stink. But the body stink is not the same. Feet don't stink here because people usually will throw their shoes out when they get to the stink point, or they wash their socks every day. I don't know why. My feet don't stink, but then again,
They're wearing sandals.
we all like the scent of our own brand, right? So we all like our own
Austin
brand.
Powers reference.
Is it? It is, right? I was wondering where I got that. We all like the smell of our own brand, so yeah, there's no problem with the stink. But it is surprisingly, in all of the drugstores and the supermarkets and any store with soap, there's no men's deodorant. It's not something people use here. I thought that was weird, but they don't have as much body hair. That's true. Yeah. When I go to the onsen and I have chest hair. What am I doing here? I have chest hair, so people will. It is. This live stream just got banned, but nobody has really like body hair in Japan, so it's just a cultural thing. Let's see here, and in Japan we bathe more very regularly. I always bathe before I go to bed, and then in the morning I take a shower. So I'm half American, half Japanese. I bathe at night, and I take a shower in the morning. And in the summer, I take a shower in the afternoon too. In Thailand, I heard they take showers 3 times a day in Thailand. So
Yeah, it's been bad here.
yeah, it's
Like
very
at least
bad.
a 2-shower day, if not more.
Yeah, it's a 2-shower day.
Just once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in Portugal, we just shower once and
Yeah, I
we're
shower in
fine.
the morning.
You
and
shower in
the
the
rest of my
morning?
day, I'm
Well,
usually
you don't
in the
shower
morning
before
or
you go to
in
bed?
No. In the morning or
What?
late after. Yeah. It's a cultural thing, I guess.
Now this is weird. I don't know how, like, this is, how could you not shower before you go to bed though? You guys can make excuse. Well, how could you not shower before you go to bed? Seriously? You're clean. You work at a desk. Wow. I mean, I don't know. You're like all really?
Software developers don't sweat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
Software developers
I'm not
don't
running
sweat.
track or
That's
working
true,
in a
actually.
warehouse.
I kind of see that reasoning. Yeah. But yeah, maybe yeah.
No, but here in Japan I shower much more frequently than in Portugal. In Portugal, one shower is okay. Here, 3.
yeah.
It's super different.
I've never done this much laundry in my life, and I do a lot of laundry. It's ridiculous.
I'm telling you, it's hot here. People don't get it. In Europe, no one showers before they go to bed. Is that nobody?
I don't know. Most people in Portugal, I don't think they do. But
There's some countries where people seem to not shower at all. I met a guy from Russia who,
super cold.
well, he just didn't like showers. It was a communist thing. Maybe water costed money. I'm serious. This is back in 1997 when I was in university at Ohio State. We had a Russian exchange student, and we had to report him. We had to report him for smell because he would never shower. And when we talked to him, it was a very sensitive issue because we don't want to make him feel uncomfortable. And by the way, if you're watching Nameless
Sorry.
Russian guy, I'm really sorry. But he was from the countryside in Russia. He said he just didn't shower regularly, but he understood that they shower more in the U.S. and he took showers.
Okay.
And we told him it was free. He could use all the water he wanted and stay as long as he wanted. Yeah,
But
it's good. It's
you
just
would
different
think
cultures. Yeah.
That a hot water shower would be nice in Russia. No,
Maybe,
they
but
should shower, I guess.
in the summer, I don't even turn the heater on. I just shower with the cold water, and actually, the pipes are so hot in my building, it's like hot water. In fact, the pipe water that naturally is heated is hotter than if I turn on the gas to use that. I don't.
Man, everything's got a computer attached to it.
Yeah.
You gotta turn a computer on just to like get hot water in the bathroom, and yeah.
I want to go back to some of the travel questions before we end this live stream. We've been going on for a while here.
So Kyoto, can't do it in one day.
Kyoto, can't do it in one day. Take 2 days. Or what would be the minimum that you would need to go to visit Kyoto, Nosh? What would?
I spent 5 days, and I wish I'd spend more. I would say a week, if you really wanted to absorb it. And that's also keeping in mind there's so many places you can go where photography isn't allowed. And if you want to really like truly absorb what's going on, you need to sit, you need to chill out, you just need to absorb the moment. It's not something you can be clicking away. You're not going to get your selfie there. You just have to enjoy the moment of being there, and
Right.
you're not going to get that in 2 or 3 days. I think you need to be there a week.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, have you been? You haven't been to Kyoto
No,
yet.
I want to go.
You want to go?
So I'm
What do you want to
learning.
see in Kyoto?
Actually, just absorb a little bit of the traditional part of the city. Just not much, actually. So
Okay.
I just want to be there.
You just want to
absorb
experience it,
Yeah.
so a day might be
the
enough.
temple. Yeah, for me, I think so. I had a colleague who went in the morning and came back at night, and he said it was okay, but it
Wow.
was even hotter than Tokyo.
I think for me, I think I would need to spend one night. Have you stayed in a ryokan?
No, not yet.
You have to stay. Look, if you come to Japan, you have to stay in a ryokan, and if you're afraid of nudity, that's okay. You don't have to go in the onsen baths. Get one that's in your room, but just walking around in a cotton yukata and having the meals at a ryokan is just an amazing experience. I think it's an amazing. It's a little bit more expensive, but you get what you pay for. The service is amazing, and I don't think you really see the omotenashi, like the services in Japan, unless you go to a ryokan and really feel that experience. Have you? You've been to ryokans before?
I have not been to a ryokan. I have.
What?
I've been to onsen, and I have been to the public baths, but I have not actually done a ryokan yet.
What?
And there's the one that you went to is literally like in my backyard right now. The one in Tokyo,
You gotta go. Well, that one in. Okay.
Arakicho.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. In fact, just stop in and say hi. You can say they're very nice people. But a ryokan, I don't know if they're okay in Tokyo, but for me, my image is when you leave Japan or leave Tokyo, you go out into the countryside, Tohoku or Shikoku or even Kyoto, even outside of Kyoto and like Fukui, out on the Nihonkai Sea of Japan. The ryokans out there are so nice and so spacious, and that's when you start to, Tokyo is like the heart of Japan, but it's not Japan. It's when you leave the city and you start to feel all of the services and start to feel that charm. That's the country that makes this place such a special place. Actually, if you go and see the Japanese ryokan episode that I made in January, that was really thorough. You get
Fukushima one?
Yeah. You get to see about I think it was like 10 or 11 different ryokan. It was crazy. I'm so glad that they invited me to go take a look at those because I got to stay. I was ryokan tired. I was exhausted from staying in ryokan too much. It was too relaxing. But the food, that's where you get traditional kaiseki ryori, which is a beautiful cuisine. And it's about $140 to stay in a ryokan. $120 to $140, but it's so worth it because it's 2 meals, breakfast and dinner, the room, and all the bath and the bathing that you can stand in. At the end of it, you feel like really refreshed. You feel like a new person at the end of it. Leone Pitts is saying hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button. Leone Pitts is vying for your moderator job, Nosh.
Oh. Was it Ramsalit also?
Yeah.
Ram
Silent, who added a lot of really good information on the Patreon post. I really appreciate that, Ram Silent. Thank you very much. I think Nosh is staying for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'll be here another week.
For 1 more week. So hopefully we get a chance to see with Nosh one more time. I got to give you your pillow.
Don't forget to go to the Patreon and support John and his channel.
Look at that! Go to the Patreon.
Go to the community tab and contribute what you know about Japan because there's a lot of helpful people there and great information.
Yeah, in Patreon, it's not just about supporting me; it's about supporting the community. And I don't want it to be. I want it to be about the community. And there's this community tab where people can share photos and stories, and we're getting a lot of more people sharing their stories. And I think that's pretty cool because you can see photos and advice, almost like a thorn tree. If you ever see the Lonely Planet, people give advice. It's turning into that. Caroline, who's also a Patreon supporter, shared a lot on matcha and a lot on carp. So people who have things that they like.
Photos. She made a face mask.
Yeah, she made a face mask. Like things like this make the community posts really special, I think. And after you've been in a couple of months in Patreon, you start to know everybody. And you see them chatting in on the live stream, so it's pretty cool for me. Hashtag send Nosh to Ryokan. Oh god, you totally have to go to Ryokan. The ones in Fukushima that I showed were pretty good.
So one of my biggest regrets actually is not spending more time in Kyoto. So next time I come, I'm actually thinking of spending a month in Kyoto as opposed to Tokyo, and then I'll do it. So
yeah, then we'll come visit you. We'll all come and stay in your ryokan room. But
not for a month. I mean, well, at least 1 or 2 nights. But.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, Marty, hashtag Marty MVP.
Thank you.
We're getting all these hashtag Nosh for president. I'd vote for Nosh. How people are able to see Japan without tourist glasses, or is it possible 2 to 3 weeks?
You gotta live here.
You gotta live here.
Don't go to a hotel. If you can, go to an Airbnb, or stay with a friend if it's possible. Not everyone has an opportunity. But don't go where the touristy things. Go into a small neighborhood. Live in the area. Don't just like visit. Don't go just sightsee. Just like learn what it means just to go next door to go eating in a small izakaya or like go to places you normally wouldn't go to. Go into the places that kind of scare you.
That's amazing advice. A lot of people are afraid to go into restaurants because there's no English menu. Don't be afraid to just walk in there and just look at what other people are ordering and just point and then try lots of new things.
They'll
and you're
work
gonna
with you.
Yeah.
Everyone's incredibly friendly. I think there's a bad reputation about this xenophobia or what have you, but people will really try and work with you and really try and help you. Or you're not going to starve. All right. I mean, I'm doing okay. You know? but you know, you're going to get some great experiences and something to remember long down the road.
They'll try to talk as much English as they can. I've noticed that. They'll do as much as they can to help you. That's true. So even if you don't know, you point and you
You feel the
yeah.
kindness, I think.
Yep.
And I think there's going to be situations that might be difficult where you might feel uncomfortable. Not 100% of the situations are going to be perfect, but I got to tell you something. Of the one complaint, there's like 50 amazing experiences for that one complaint that everybody seems to pay attention to. There's like a 50 or 100 really good situations that nobody shares. And I think if you focus on the part like, oh, they don't like foreign, well, don't go to another restaurant and then you find a different place. But if you put yourself in uncomfortable situations, amazing things seem to happen. That's one of the reasons why I did the hitchhiking trip, to show you that you can cross the entire country on the kindness of other people. And I was not comfortable holding a cardboard sign. Nobody really is. But it's an adventure that really I'll take from me for the rest of my life. That's why I did it twice. It was pretty good. Would you guys ever hitchhike? No.
Nope.
I would give it a shot here. I think.
I would try, but I never did.
No one's gonna pick me up. I know that.
No, you'd be surprised. They're picking me up. They're gonna pick. Look, I got the crazy eyes. They pick me up. They're gonna pick you up. You don't have the crazy eyes. I'm holding the sign like this, like shaking. And people stopped. I made it from one place to the next. It's
They're
amazing.
Really helpful. I really feel like if they see a
Hamburger.
foreign dude, they'll help you as much as they can. So they're super helpful with the Hygiene.
And I can feel that the typhoon winds are starting to come. The winds are picking up.
But it's like, are you scared of the rain, or are you enjoying the cold?
I'm enjoying the cold.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been so hot. I'm really enjoying the cold weather. All right, guys. I gotta end this live stream. One last question. My wife is actually making dinner, so she's gonna kill me for eating chips. There's a typhoon coming. It should pass in the next 40 minutes. No, we didn't eat that much. For those joining us, hey, Super Genki, we're not that far away from you. I wish you could. I'd love to hang out with Thomas here. All right. So the battery's on the gimbal. So we had some sausages, quail eggs, and some latte, fast food latte, hamburger potato chips, which are kind of buttery, right? Not bad. Not bad. John, Jennifer, and Nosh. That's not Jennifer. That's Mindless Marty. Although, do you look like Jennifer? No, you don't look like Jennifer. You could. Jennifer doesn't have a beard, though.
How are your cats doing?
Last question. We're waiting for the last question.
Make it a good one.
Make it a good one. Who's gonna have it? Verno, Utama, Super Genki. Hey, John. Yeah, it would be great. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to meet up with Thomas. Do you guys know Super Genki? Super Genki Japan. That's Thomas. He lives in Nihonbashi, because I remember last year he told me he lived nearby when I went through there. We gotta hook up Thomas. Jennifer she's been in France and she's been in Nagano. She's nonstop
She's in
traveling
Nagano right now, yeah.
Yeah, she's nonstop traveling. It's really hard to hook up with her. Connect. What's your favorite Japanese fast food? Will you return to Izumo? What's cooking for dinner? Which one of those three sound good? What's cooking for dinner? Something healthy. I told her that she asked me, what do you want? And I said, something healthy. And she says, okay. I don't know. I told her she doesn't have to cook. I try to cook for her. So.
Mapo tofu.
Yeah. What's your favorite Japanese food? Leo Doyle. What's your favorite Japanese food?
Sushi.
Sushi.
Sorry.
Soba.
Soba. Katsudon. Katsudon. There's a place nearby that I haven't introduced because I don't want to introduce it, because then everybody would go there and that would ruin the experience. Katsudon is awesome. Which sushi?
Tsukiji.
Tsukiji. Which one? Like anago, maguro?
Maguro.
Maguro?
I really like it.
No. All right. Advice for Tsukiji: don't eat in the inner market. Go to the just go outside the market and go to I keep forgetting the chain now.
Yeah, the bottom line is that any sushi you get in America, by law, has to be frozen, which means that anything, even the bottom tier sushi you're getting in Japan, is going to outdo anything you had back in the States.
In Portugal as well, it's all Chinese restaurants with sushi, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's super
Sushi Zanmai. Go to Sushi Zanmai, and don't go to any Sushi Zanmai. Go to the Sushi Zanmai Honten, because that's where the best chefs are, the best sushi chefs. Amazing for price, cost, performance. Sushi Zanmai is top. And I would love to do to work with Sushi Zanmai to promote their sushi because I'm a big fan of Sushi Zanmai. That's Sushi Zanmai is the guy who buys. Every year Sushi Zanmai. Whoa, what you got there?
It's the Tsukiji sushi place.
Oh, okay.
I was
Wow,
trying to
they
get the name.
really ate everything, didn't they? And you can use the bones for soup. So,
I guess.
all right. Have you tried killer whale? No. What? Will you do an episode on the new fish market? Yes. Hurricane is on the way in Hurricane. Is it a hurricane or a typhoon? I don't know. Typhoon. Soba, yes. People are agreeing with you, Nosh. Where are the katsudon lovers? Does katsudon have its own sauce like tonkatsu? Yeah. They just put some tare on it, and it's breaded pork cutlet. And then after they've made that, then they put it in another fry pan, and then they put raw egg on top of it and cook the egg. Then they add dashi and a sauce and put some vegetables on it, and then throw that on top of a bed of rice. And it's under $10, and it's good.
There is so much more to Japanese cuisine than just sushi. Like,
Sushi stinks.
I'm sorry, guys.
Sushi's not even in my top 10. No,
Sushi's
it's like
delicious. I mean, I love it personally.
it's in my
but-
top 10.
But you get here and it's like, you're not going to eat sushi every day.
Yeah.
You're going to be eating
Okonomiyaki.
or monjayaki.
Yeah.
Or
Katsudon
I had
is good.
monjayaki in your neighborhood the other day.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, monjayaki's awesome. There's some good places too. Actually, who was it? Was one of the Patreon people in the community tabs wrote in some of the monjayaki places he went to. I have to go check them out. But if you're going to Tsukishima's monjayaki and you want to eat there, try to get off of the main street and go off Broadway. And some of the more famous shops are actually not on the main street where everybody else is. And if there's no line and if the place is not crowded, don't eat there. There's some bad monjayaki places. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna name names. That's not what we do here. Name the names, but not all monja is created equal.
You know what I really liked? Ikanari steak and yakiniku.
Wow, ikinari, yeah.
Ikanari is super nice, and shabu shabu.
Cost
as well.
performance is good.
You had any
Yeah.
kushikatsu or...
Kushikatsu, kushikatsu. They have,
Was nice.
kushikatsu is best made in Osaka, but we've got places here in Tokyo that are so good. All right, minus Marty and Nosh Abroad, thank you very much. This has been fun. We have 518 people watching. Typhoon is coming. Stay up to date with this. I'm going to try to do another live stream tomorrow. This is a week of live streams because I'm on the 16th. I'm going to Singapore. If you're watching from Singapore, you can go to the Facebook page and see the meetup.
tomorrow we got to figure out who can be there first. I'll race you.
I won't be dropping. I'll just leave you guys alone. Don't.
So
It was just a float thing.
where are you staying in the city?
Midtown.
Oh, Midtown. Okay. Hibiya Midtown?
Roppongi Midtown.
Roppongi Midtown.
Tokyo Midtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's the company.
So how do you feel about being in Roppongi?
It's okay. I've seen some weird stuff. You definitely see
Well,
some
Roppongi,
weird
I would
stuff.
hope so. That's part of the experience.
Jumanji and the quite ugly bars and
Yeah.
but it's okay. You can it's super safe in Japan.
Yeah.
They just
I was going to say, does it deserve the reputation it gets?
yeah.
Does it deserve it? He's like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it does. You see some weird stuff.
Okay.
Even at midday. So.
Yamachung is rating in where? It's at Sentosa, World Sentosa.
Yamachan?
The information.
Wait. Who's talking about Yamachan?
It's in Sentosa. I put it in the Facebook
Now,
page.
Yamachan wings are delicious. Have you been to Yamachan?
No.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I will be in Singapore. The meetup is scheduled for the
Do you have a line?
18th. I think around
You have a line
12
account?
12 noon. But it'll probably be a couple of hours, and I might do another meetup on the
I usually hear it,
17th.
but I'm here all
But everything for meetups is going to be on the Facebook page, only in Japan TV. And I think we have a couple of volunteers that are going to be helping me out. So I'm emceeing the Asia Spelling Cup, and after the event, the company that's putting this on said that we have this hall for the entire day. Have your meetup there. So we're gonna meet up there. It's gonna be kind of fun. I'm gonna bring some stuff from Japan, and we're gonna play some games to see who wins it. So it should be pretty fun. What's the meetup about? I don't know. We'd meet up and say hi and talk about Japan. I don't know.
Well, John,
I'll be there.
You'll be there, and then
I'll be there.
you guys meet.
You'll be there too, and we'll meet up. And sometimes we go out somewhere. And in Malaysia, we went out and had some beers and got some dinner. Which is pretty fun. Can you make a video on halal food in Tokyo, please?
Hey, Shinokubo.
Yeah,
I
Shinokubo.
mentioned this, and you were
Lots of
talking about
angry
maybe doing
ones. I better do that quick.
Yeah.
Any meetups in Japan in October? I really don't know. I want to focus on making the videos. Actually, I've been trying to meet up with people, and that takes me off of my game a lot. So I want to meet with you, but you know what? Ask me in September about meetups in October. Don't ask me in the beginning of August. I really don't know. Hashtag space. I'd love to meet with Mark Weens. I've been in contact with him, and the Food Ranger is an extremely nice guy. I haven't talked with Mike Chen, who's Strictly Dumplings. He comes here a lot, but he worked with my friends Simon and Martina last time.
I don't know, man. He likes Ichiran.
He likes Ichiran, which disqualifies me. He goes for the popular stuff. He doesn't really know. I'm not. This isn't a cut on Mike Chen, but he doesn't really know where to go in Japan, and that's just because he just follows what's popular and not really what's underground. And I'm thinking about making a food only in Japan food channel, and I will take you to the places that probably he would want to go. So then you know, then he'll contact me, and then we'll do something. But you know, he has his own style. I don't do a lot of collaborations with other YouTubers because we all have our own style. I'm not a vlogger. This is a vlog format for the Only in Japan Go, but the main channel's like
More documentary. Yeah.
if I like working with my friends for that, who are professionals or people who know something as an expert. Not so much just because you're a
Not
YouTuber.
amateur hour like this, you know.
Hey, you got no, totally. This whole theme is about tips and not being a tourist. It's nice to talk with people who are visiting Japan because this is a point of view I just don't know. Yeah, I will do a food channel. This year, sometime I will launch it, so it's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna do it all in 4K, really high quality stuff, and with one restaurant at a time. Not trying to do a whole topic, but one restaurant. One specialty with one chef and just really get in depth. I think that's gonna be pretty cool. Nobody's doing something like that. I'd love to be a torch runner. Hey, Olympic Committee, give me the torch. Get a lighter. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna light up this umbrella, and then I'll run down the streets. You guys can super chat me bail money. Maybe.
I'd chip in for that.
And that should be good. All right, guys, everybody, thank you so much for watching this
good night,
live stream. Good morning, wherever you are.
See you guys.
I'll leave the last 20 seconds staring at the back of a vending machine, or the front. Enjoy. You can leave in the comments, what would you like to eat? And if you like this kind of content, hit that like button because that's how I know that you like it and will make more content like it. Thanks.